Hi everybody, Renegade 67 and or 68 here with some more Let's Play Stream Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works of the Blind variety. So, in case you've forgotten, I know I slightly did, last time, there's a guy, he's named Kazuki, and, he's a friend of Issei. So far in this VN, Shiro fights better than Saber fights? You're not wrong! Sorry. Yeah. Last time, Kazuki, he's kind of not the nicest person. He's not a nice guy. He's not necessarily a bad guy, per se. It's debatable. He seemed more neutral. I'll be interested to see how he feels if he finds out that Caster put a trap on, Issei. Because he seems to care about Issei potentially. Now, is that bullshit? Does he just not care about anyone? Because he said that, oh, it's fine for her to kill a bunch of random randos. I don't care. But, like, is Issei a rando to him? Is Issei his, like, morality compass or whatever the trope name is? So Kazuki might be convertible, maybe. It's funny. It's really funny to think about how Kazuki apparently just died off screen in the other timeline. At least Caster said as much. Given how strong he is, it's really interesting to think of how that would have happened. But regardless, this isn't dealing with that. This is a green interlude. Possibly, Shinji's. Kazuki's legit the anti-Shiro. I only care about myself. I care about nothing else. Yeah, very apathetic. Yes, that does sound... Yeah, because Shiro doesn't care much about himself. He cares about other things, but not really himself. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, Kazuki said he does... It's interesting that he said... That is an interesting thing to note, is he said, I will attack you if you come after me. I do care about my own life. He said something roughly like that. And if he cares about his own life, he's got to have some specific reason that he wants to continue living. I wonder what that is. There is probably some kind of pull there. I don't think he's full-blown evil like Caster seems to be. But anyways, for now, possibly this is a Shinji interlude. That would just be my guess, because it's referring to a he, and the only he we've interluded so far is Shinji. But, okay. This place is not too pleasant for him. Frustration and delusion. Envy and jealousy. Okay. Those all sound like emotions Shinji would have. Yeah, that checks out. The place, permeated with emotions, is like a cursed room. Place is not... Oh, wait a second. Maybe this isn't Shinji. The place is not too pleasant for him. Frustration, delusion, envy, and jealousy. This place permeated with emotions is like a cursed room. So those are the emotions in the room and they're not pleasant for him? I mean, if it's Shinji, I mean, is that just because you have to confront your own fucking emotional bullshit? Otherwise, it's a new interluder, I guess. It's like a cursed room. It should have been his, but this room was never used for him. It should have been his. Since Shinji's on the mind, and, you know, I've been toting this, there's gonna be a Sakura plot twist. Maybe this room should have been Shinji's, but secretly it was Sakura's all along. Oh. Was that Shinji's voice? It threw me off for a second. I'm like, wait, was that Gil's? If it's Shinji, I don't know, maybe I just have to get back into the swing of things. Okay, now I think it's Shinji. Now that I'm thinking about it again, it was just Shinji normally doesn't talk so defensively. Shinji's a very offensive talker. Or he's a whiner. That sounded defensive, so I think that put me on. I think that's Shinji, okay. Damn. This place stinks. This is all his delusion. A stranger's child... Wait. A stranger's child... Okay, Mato. Mato is relevant. A stranger's child spent a few years in here and threatened the Mato blood for a long time. What? A stranger's child? Was someone adopted? Spent a few years in here and threatened the Mato blood for a long time. Who? Who is it? Who's the dirty threatener? I'm sorry about that, Tipoima. Maybe Twitch is just being a jerk. I always stream at the same 8:30 EST time Monday to Friday. If I don't, I always Discord about it. But a stranger's child spent a few years in here and threatened the Mato blood for a long time. That's the only past he knows. Wait, what? The only past he knows? He is Shinji? A stranger's child. So some kind of adoption. There's a lot of adoption in this game. Is everyone secretly adopted? Because Rin was talking about how early... Because, like, we know Shiro's adopted. And then Rin was all like, hey, what would happen if someone was adopted? And now there's this Shinji having a thing about how a stranger's child. Spent a few years in here and threatened the Mato blood for a long time. That's the only past he knows. Their magic ran out, so it would make sense they would adopt? I suppose, but you're supposed to only be able to transfer the magic crest to a blood relative, right? Unless that was an excuse. Because the magic ran out. I guess if you adopt when the magic runs out, it doesn't matter. If you're trying to carry on the family name without a magic crest, I suppose adopting, it's not relevant anymore. So is Shinji adopted then? Okay, wait, hold on. So, yeah, I guess if you don't have a magic crest to pass on anymore, it's fine to just adopt to continue on the family name, but what's the point? Like, which one's adopted? Because if they already have Sakura, why bother adopting Shinji? Or if they already have Shinji, why bother adopting Sakura? Also, they have the same color hair, which makes me believe that they're, you know, actually blood related. Maybe they're both adopted. Maybe they came as a package set. A stranger's child spent a few years in here and threatened the Mato blood for a long time. That's the only past he knows. His father never said anything, but his grandfather told him a bit of what happened here. Okay. Weird. His father never said anything. Okay, that's a drop of the Mato father. Or the But his grandfather... Oh, what if... Oh, maybe... Is it possible that Shinji and Sakura were orphaned also during the fire? And then they were adopted by the Matos? That would make sense. There's probably a lot of children that needed adopting. I know most of them probably went to Kirei, and Kirei went and fucked them up, but I guess it's possible. Maybe if they're strong innately in magic, and the Mato, like Makiri, was like, yes, get those ones. They seem to have a high midichlorian count. His father never said anything, but his grandfather told him a bit of what happened here. Okay. His father did not choose him. His father did not choose him and decided to kill off the Mato blood. But his grandfather wished for the revival of the Mato family. Right, the grandfather, the sketchy Makiri fellow. Okay. Okay. Okay, his father did not choose him. Wait, his father... Okay, what is this saying? So this is saying his father did not choose him, but then what does this have to do with adoption? Even if we're saying his father wasn't going to pass it on... His father wasn't going to pass it on. That doesn't necessarily involve adoption. That's why he has no feelings towards his father. Okay, we're really getting some Shinji insight. I think this is Shinji. A stranger's child spent a few... This is interesting. It's also worded in a very ambiguous way. A stranger... It's worded ambiguously, because if they're too on the nose, it'll reveal the Sakura plot twist. A stranger's child spent a few years in here and threatened the Mato blood for a long time. It's the only past he knows. His father never said anything, but his grandfather told him a bit of what happened here. His father did not choose him and decided to kill off the Mato blood, but his grandfather wished for the revival of the Mato family. That's why he has no feelings towards his father. Okay, so you feel like your father's a goddamn douchebag because you have pride. You want to have pride. You're kind of like Tosaka, but if Tosaka was a bit of a shithole. You have a similar pride thing. So, because your father tried to not make you a magically inclined, magically delicious person, you said, oh, well, my father's a fucking fuckwad, but my grandfather, he wanted the pride for me, so that's cool. His father taught him existence and failure. His grandfather taught him superiority and privilege. Oh yeah, that sounds like a Makiri douchebag to me. Okay, so this does seem like the problems of Shinji stem from the grandfather. His father taught him existence and failure. He was what? He's a failure for existing? He's a failure as someone to pass on? His grandfather taught him superior... So this seems like something where the father wanted it to die because... This seems like something where the father wanted the magic possibly to die off because he maybe had a similar Kiritsugu experience or mindset, or maybe like the magic was already so thin that he's like, look, I don't want to mess up my children, so we're just gonna stop here. And then maybe he like died at some point, and then the grandpappy's like, oh well, now that he's out of the way, fuck what he said, we're continuing on the family. Yeah, that's exactly what I think was happening. It'd be fucked if his father was trying to save Shinji from magic life, and that's why he cut it off. I mean, that's my assumption right now, is that based on what's happening, based on how he's explaining it, I assume it, yeah, opposite of Tosaka's father, more like the Kiritsugu father, where he did like he tried to do the thing for his children, where he's just like, look, this is not going to go anywhere pretty, I'm just going to stop it. And then probably he died at some point. And, I don't know, maybe the grandfather, if he's that much of a fucking dickwad, maybe he orchestrated it. And then afterwards, he's like, oh, he's not around anymore. That means I'm the man of the family, and I'm saying you're inheriting it, because fuck what you want. I want you guys to inherit it. And now Shinji is all... Because Makiri's fucked him up raising him, Shinji's like, yeah, my father was dumb. Of course I want to inherit all the magical marshmallows. Magical marshmallows are awesome. His grandfather taught him superiority and privilege. Thinking about what his mother gave him, Shinji laughs. Okay, we're talking about the mother and the father. Interesting. Thinking about what his mother gave him, Shinji laughs. Interesting. This is really interesting. I'm still not sure how an adoption plays into this. A stranger's child. Or maybe this is, I'm reading too much in, maybe it's not even an adoption, because it could very much be that without even being an adoption. A stranger's child. A stranger. What stranger? Spent a few years in here and threatened the Mato blood? Maybe the idea is that they wanted to adopt to fix the bloodline because maybe Shinji's dad, like, sucked. Maybe he was a sucky person, so Makiri tried to adopt someone. But then Shinji's dad just wanted to cut it off? Something like that? Thinking about what his mother gave him, Shinji laughs. First of all... oh, fucking Shinji's perspective. First of all, women are not needed at the Mato household. I mean, we need them to have children or something, but otherwise they're just gross and have cooties and they need to go away. Women are not needed at the Mato household. He heard that his mother is some carrier, but she must have become useless after giving birth. Oh my god, Shinji! Oh my god, Makiri! Matos! You guys are fucked up! Is that all soccer is meant to be? Carry on the Mato bloodline? What's even the point, though, if there's no more magic in the family? Well, I guess Makiri will do some weird fucking experiments or something. Probably fuck with Sakura, too, to continue on, just to make her, you know, a mother of some future child and then kill her, too? Ooh. You've outlived your usefulness now that you've had baby. But Makiri, in theory, can only live for so long. So at some point, the reins are either going to vanish or they're going to be passed on to someone. Shinji doesn't seem that competent. Maybe he could become evil and competent in the future. Otherwise, it might just theoretically fall apart when Makiri dies. He heard that his mother is some carrier, but she must have become useless after giving birth. He can bet on it that he'll find what used to be his mother in this room? What the fuck? Okay, so Makiri is just kind of he fucked up. Did he kill his own daughter or daughter-in-law? You can bet on it that he'll find what used to be his mother. Or is this like a tomb? Because Shinji said this was supposed to be his. This room, it should have been his, but this room was never used for him. Oh, as in this is where he should have, like, they should have passed on the magical line, but his father tried to cut it off. So that's why it was never used for him? Huh. Cursed? Permeated with emotions? So some kind of weird, distorted, grody thing, I guess, that Makiri does to pass on, and his father didn't want Shinji to go through with whatever the gross ritual is to pass on the Mato gross magic, maybe. The Tosakas seem to be somehow better than this family by a long shot. Oh, for sure. I mean, look, the Tosakas are part of the system that's just bad in general, but this seems to be taking it to a whole nother level. He can bet on it that he will find what used to be his mother in this room. So he doesn't even know? So he knows his mother is probably dead, but doesn't know? He can bet that he'll find what... So he's never been here. Or he hasn't been here recently. So he's invading here with his new servant, possibly Lancer. Maybe because, yeah, Makiri was gonna, like, disown him for failing or something. But now that he's got a new servant, he's trying to invade to see... To figure out the things that he was too afraid to check before, maybe? The only good magic parents are the dead ones? He can bet on it that he'll find what used to be his mother in this room. But he has no intention of searching for such a thing. For such a thing? Shinji, you fucking dick! I mean, I'm also kind of the opinion, what's dead is dead or whatever, but to call it a thing in your inner monologue is just kind of gross. First of all, he does not want to see that which gave birth to his unskillful body. Okay, there's some self-hatred. He pretends to have pride, but he actually doubts himself constantly. Otherwise, he wouldn't refer to himself as unskillful. He does not want to see... He blames his parents then. He blames his father for not passing on the magic, and he blames his mother for birthing such an unskilled... Like, why do I suck so much, Mom? Why couldn't you birth a better kid? Why do you suck? And that also shows his deflection. Even though he thinks low of himself, he has to have a patsy. It can't just be, oh, I suck because I suck. I suck because my mom sucks. Yeah. Shinji, wow. So mentally fucked. He does not want to see that which gave birth to his unskillful body. The basement is filled with decay. Uh-huh. Strange worms are wriggling around deep within the dark. Worms? What? Oh. Okay, let's keep going. I had a thought, but I don't know how founded it is. Let's keep going. Strange worms are wriggling around deep within the dark. There should not be any more nutrition to suck out of here, but the worms are still living here in this underground training area. Wriggling around deep in the dark. There should not be any more nutrition to suck out of here. So are these worms, like, for example, the worm... So maybe this is like a coffin. Like, the worms... like, for example, his mother is dead here. Or a tomb, I should say. Maybe this is like a tomb, and so the idea of the worms is that they're, like, feeding on the corpses or something. But this is also where you pass on to magic. So it's like in Game of Thrones. You gotta like kinda die to become the next dabba dabba dabba. I mean, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you don't, I don't know if I want to say it, but strange worms are wriggling around deep within the dark. There should not be any more nutrition to suck out of here, but the worms are still living here in this underground training area. The Mato training facility? No. From the beginning, this place has been used not to raise people, but to raise bugs. Huh. It doesn't meet the hygiene regulations, so yeah. This place has been used not to raise people, but to raise bugs. Oh, wait. What? Wait, so... This is a training facility, but you're like not... Okay, wait, you're passing on the Mato blood, but maybe the Mato blood is connected to the... Maybe you're the Aberame clan! It's connected to the bugs in some way, and your father didn't want you to have anything to do with that? Keep going. There's some dots connecting in my mind. Raise bugs. What can be seen inside the dark are swarms of bugs with black wings. Bugs with black wings. Okay. Even the shadows on the walls must be black bugs. Shadows on the walls. Okay. In it all... A golden man. Oh. A golden man unsuited to this lower pit is there. Wait, so you do have Gilly? I thought Gilly was just checking out the place. Okay, so he never gave you... I thought for sure Shinji was gonna temporarily have Lancer. So he's getting fucking Gilly? Wow! Oh. Unsuited to this place, unsuited to this master. How long until Gilly just shanks him? Maybe Gilly finds this interesting. Amusing. This little pest is amusing. He definitely doesn't consider Shinji his real master, and he's totally just riding this out to see where it goes. So it's possible Shinji dies without Gilly dying, but, you know, Gilly still wants to fight Saber anyway. Or maybe even Shiro will end up fighting Gilly this time, because we already saw this Saber-Gilly fight. Or Archer fights Gilly. Either Shiro or Archer or both, because they're the same person, you know. But okay, this makes the possibility of Gilly being taken out at the halfway point a lot more likely then. A golden man unsuited to this lowest pit is there.
Nanda, Archer.
Wait, how does that make sense? Wait, does Shinji not know? Okay, I was gonna say, there's two archers. Does Shinji not know about the other archer? Hold on, I guess he doesn't. Because otherwise, how could Kirei trick him? There's no way Kirei would reveal the plot. Kirei must be tricking him into thinking this is just the archer. So Shinji, I guess, just doesn't know that, yeah, okay, that's fair, that's fair. Shinji probably wouldn't know, actually. Shinji probably wouldn't know about the other archer yet. Thinking about the timeline of events, Shinji maybe figured out Rin was a master, but I don't think Shinji, because Archer never showed up to attack Ryder in the forest. That was just Shiro and Rin. And then at school, again, it was just Shiro and Rin, and Saber, I don't even know, they think he saw Saber. He definitely never saw... Okay, he probably never saw Rin's Archer. So maybe he just thinks this is the Archer. Shinji might not care if there's two Archers, but, like, I don't think Kirei would have to tell him that there's a jig. Because then Shinji would ask some kind of amount of questions, I think. Oh, you were here, Archer, because Shinji probably thinks this is his real servant. It's totally not. But Kirei was saying, oh, it turns out there's a servant without a master. Shinji probably bought all that. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm a master without a servant. That's a servant without a master. It works. That's not at all what's happening here. But Shinji, if he's being led to believe that, it means there's more of a chance for possibly a redemption, but we'll see. You were here, Archer. Dash dash. Oh, you were here. Oh, Shinji didn't know? So Shinji was investigating this place without knowing that Archer was with him? That takes some balls, I think. The Golden Man, Archer, does not look at his master and just stares into the darkness. Okay. Okay.
聞けよ。朗報だぜ。琴峰のやつ、僕らの行動には目をつむるってさ。見どころがあるやつだって思ってたけど、 本当に使えるよなあいつ。要するにさ、僕たちが何をやったってお咎めなしってことだろそれ。
I have good news. Kotomine said he'll overlook any of our actions. I thought he showed promise, but he really is useful. You thought Kirei showed promise? Is that what you mean? Or are you talking about Archer? You're talking to Archer, so I don't think you'd be talking about Archer to Archer. That means we won't get in trouble no matter what we do, right? He'll overlook any of your actions. Maybe this is a trap for you because he wants to enjoy seeing you squirm, but he also would probably just let you do it if it's interesting. What exactly are you doing here? Are you messing up the Mato site that maybe Makiri was going to go against? Like, Makiri would never let you do this. But Kirai's like, it's okay, you have my permission. I thought that you liked your grandpappy more than your poppy. Maybe you're still scared of your grandpappy, though. Means we won't get in trouble no matter what we do, right? Talking in delight, he walks toward Archer. Dash, dash. To not confuse myself, I just like thinking of Gilly as Gilly, but because there's already another Archer, and we don't know his name, or do we? Archer finally notices his master. Yep, they just went and said it. His master. The red eyes move.
いや、別に文句を言いに来たわけじゃない。君がどこで何をしていようと構わないさ。サーバントの自由意志ぐらい尊重するよ。僕は他の連中と違って猟犬が広いからね。
There's some fear for a quick second. Oh no, I didn't come to complain to you. I don't care where you go and what you do. I respect my servants' free will. I'm tolerant, unlike others. I didn't come to complain to you. I don't care where you go and what you do. I respect my servants' free will. So, you realize that Gilly isn't exactly always completely following your orders. Makes sense. Even if Gilly was playing the part, he wouldn't dare play the part of a totally obedient servant. Okay, and Shinji understands that. Interesting. He probably isn't a fan of it because he likes to dominate, but maybe he's okay with it to an extent because Kirei's given him some permission to go wild. And also, Shinji just never expected to have another servant in the first place, I suppose. Tolerant, unlike others. Shinji's pressured by the red eyes, but he still approaches Archer. Even if Archer may be an ominous existence, he is only a servant. That's not true, but I guess this is Shinji's perspective speaking, so he doesn't know that. Therefore, he maintains his arrogance against Archer. Bad call. Sooner or later, he's gonna get sick of your shit. He shows leniency, but he still displays that he is the stronger one. What, Shinji does? I mean, just because you're the one in charge, technically, that does not make you the stronger one. Unless that's Archer, in which case, okay, that's more understandable.
そうか。琴峰は随分とお前を買っているようだな。
I see. Kotomine thinks... Oh gosh, what was Gilly's voice? I have so many voices that I tend to get them mixed up anyways, but I liked Gilly's voice. Kotomine thinks highly of you, huh?
ああ、何でもじいさんには借りがあるんだって。得体の知れない三流枚寿司が残るより、僕のように歴史のある血筋が勝利すべきとか言ってたな。
Kirei probably just enjoys fucked up kids. He enjoys fucking up people and seeing people when they're fucked up. So Shinji, ooh, he's ripe. He's a very fucked up individual. So he's definitely fun to examine. I can see that. Yeah, I guess he owes my grandfather. He said a bloodline with a history like mine should win over some third-rate magus. I mean, in that case, he should be okay with Tosaka winning, but, And what, Shinji, you bought it? You bought his bullshit line? Oh, you're so easy to control. I guess because you have such of that disgusting pride, you're just so willing to accept things without looking for further, like, maybe he's lying to you because you want so desperately for him to be telling the truth. In that sense, there's a bit of a parallel with Shiro of avoiding hard truths, for sure. The hard truth that you just suck? I guess he owes my grandfather a bloodline with a history like mine.
そんなの当然じゃないか。何を今更って気はするけど、まあ人を見る目だけはあるよ。 一応世話になったしさ。聖杯を手に入れたら、例の一つでもやろうかって思案中。
That's obvious. He's stating the obvious, but he's good at determining who's strong. I'm thinking about maybe thanking him if I obtain the Holy Grail. First of all, you're unconfident. You said if, not when. And second of all, you're cute if you think it'll ever get that far. I mean, maybe it'll get that far if, because you probably have a gross wish, Kiri might just let it happen. But Gilly, I don't know if he'd want to let it. It's debatable. Kiri might let it get there. I don't know if Gilly would want to let it get there. Joyful laughter echoes through the room.
それじゃあ始めようか、アーチャー。もう人目を気にする必要もないんだ。手っ取り早く殺しまくってさ、じゃんじゃん魂を食べて強くなってよ。
Wait, what? Then let's start, Archer. We don't have to worry about catching people's attention. Go ahead and kill all you want. Eat lots of souls and get strong. Kill all you want? So my idea of this being a tomb seems kind of shot. Unless it's just, you mean kill the bugs? Eat lots of souls. I mean, what? Is he just killing bugs, or are there actually living people down here? If the Matos family magical energy has mostly died out, it wouldn't be like servants, would it? Or do you just mean the bugs? If the bugs are related to your magical tradition and Makiri likes the bugs, then he probably wouldn't like you doing this, so this might be an act of defiance that Makiri would not be a fan of. Yeah, Kirikin did say Shinji can do whatever he wants. Yeah, but is this something that Makiri would be unhappy with? In which case, maybe you don't care. Maybe you're resentful in some way to Makiri, despite how much saying, oh, he saw my promise, but also he's scary.
そうしたら次はあいつらだ。目障りなセイバーを潰してエミヤにお礼参りをしないと。
Then they'll be next. We have to crush that annoying Saber and go settle things with Emiya. Well, we know from Timeline 1 that Gilly would be excited about the prospect of fighting against Saber. Settle things with Emiya. You and your vendetta with Emiya. I mean, there's Rin too, but you're just so focused on Emiya because you have this idea of some kind of rivalry with him, and you do seem to be similar to an extent on the inside. Very different paths you've went down, but there's some similarity of, I'd say, doubting hard truths and some amount of, or looking away from hard truths and some amount of self-loathing, but you've taken it in very different directions. But Shiro, maybe because of the doubting the hard truths, maybe is why he so far hasn't put the connection together that they're similar, or maybe that's why he's more willing to put up with Shinji's shit, because he can kind of sort of see that they have some similarities, maybe. This Shiro versus Shinji. I mean, Shiro should just kick this Shinji's ass, but... He pats Archer on the shoulder. Archer watches as if something unpleasant has touched him. I mean, I would agree. Something unpleasant has definitely touched him. But they're showing hints. They're showing hints that there might be a redemption arc in there somewhere. If Makiri is the real evil, there could be a redemption arc in there. Maybe they're saving it for Timeline 3, though. It would make the most sense for it to happen at the end.
何? ほら、行くって言ってるんだよ、アーチャー。
What? I told you we're going, Archer!
どこの英雄だろうが、サーバントってのはマスターの命令には絶対服従なんだろ?
No matter what hero one may be, a servant has to obey his master, right? I mean, Gilly again will not respect you in that way. Never, ever, ever. We don't have to worry about catching people's attention. Go ahead and kill who you want. Are you saying here, or were you just checking this place out? And then you're leaving? We'll have to crush that annoying Saber. I told you we're going. Oh, wait, you're leaving, and then you're gonna kill people? What are you talking about? Are you planning to kill people in a specific place? I thought you were doing it here. If you're not doing it here, that changes things. He must have imagined... He must have imagined himself... Wait, what? He must have imagined himself forcing Saber to serve him. Saber to serve. I mean, that would work for both characters, Shinji and Gilly, but he must have imagined himself forcing Saber to serve him and letting his friend crawl on the ground as well. His friend? Okay, Shiro is his friend. Alright, so this is Shinji's perspective. Gilly would never think of anyone as a friend, really. Nobody's on his level. Himself forcing Saber to serve him and letting his friend crawl on the ground as well. Okay. So Shinji, yeah, that's a big ego. He orders Archer in high spirits. But the golden man does not move. He's interested in this place?
シンジ、お前は聖杯というものを理解していない。
Shinji, you do not understand what the Holy Grail is. No, he doesn't. Not many do. Interesting, Shinji still considers Shiro a friend. That is interesting. Shinji, I think, still kind of hates Shiro, definitely. But maybe Shinji just has such a fucked up childhood that to him, like Shiro practically is, you know, I don't know. Maybe he just never had any real friends, and so he just refers to Shiro as a friend. Maybe he doesn't use the term friend the way you'd think it would normally be used. They both seem to refer to each other as friends in their inner monologue, despite not actually liking each other very much. It's very interesting, and I think it goes to a parallel that they have, and that they are kind of similar with the self-loathing and the ignoring hard truths. At least in Timeline 1, Timeline 2, Shiro is getting better about the ignoring hard truths, maybe because there are some similarities there. That's why they're kind of lenient with each other, you know, except when they're fucking trying to kill each other. Shiro's lenient with him. Shinji is only lenient with him to the extent that he calls him a friend in his inner monologue. I don't know. And he says his master's name for the first time.
No.
Eh? Nani? What's the follow-up? Is Shinji getting betrayed already? It feels a bit early.
聖杯が欲しいのなら他のマスターなど放っておけ。連中は所詮生贄に過ぎん。真に聖杯を手にするというのなら先に抑えておくべきものがある。
Ignore the other masters if you want the Holy Grail. They are only sacrifices. If you really wish for the Holy Grail, there is something we must obtain first. Ilya? Is this how she comes back in the narrative? It's been a freaking long time. So, that's probably what you're talking about. Gilly knows what's up with the Grail, because he's been through this once before, I think. I mean, I know he has been through it once before, it's just... I don't know if he knew the full details, but probably.
先に抑えておくべきもの
Something we have to obtain first? The boy Mato Shinji looks at his servant. His feet are moving back unconsciously, and he has let go of Archer's shoulder.
まずはそれを手に入れようか。俺は聖杯を手に入れるためにお前に力を貸している。我らにとって共通の目的は聖杯だけだからな。
Let us obtain that first. I'm lending you my powers to obtain the Holy Grail. The only common goal between us is the Holy Grail. Uh-huh. Huh. Ignore the other masters if you want the Holy Grail. They are only sacrifices. If you really wish for the Grail, there's something we must obtain. I feel like he could only be talking about Ilya here, right? Unless there's something I'm missing. Based on Timeline 1, I don't think I'm missing anything. His feet are moving back unconsciously. Let us obtain that first. They're being ambiguous, but I think they're just talking about Ilya, right?
ま、お前の気持ちはわからんでもないが、復讐は気持ちがいい。快楽を求めるのは人の証だ。
Well, I do
する
understand
べきことを済ませたのな。
how you feel.
お前の遊びにも付き合おう。
You can understand base emotions, even if you would never care for revenge, because, you know, you don't need to revenge anything. You're high enough on yourself that no one would ever do anything that warrants revenge. You're too high. I do understand how you feel. Revenge is delightful. To seek pleasure is proof that you're human. I shall take part in that joy once we're done with what we must do. Also, revenge? Revenge on what? Shiro for underestimating him and not finishing him off? Like, Shiro could have fucking killed you. Revenge for just what? Just his general attitude? Revenge for socking you? Punching you a while ago? Beating you up after you messed with Sakura? Maybe it was Maku that messed with Sakura. Maybe it was undeserved. I don't know. You still seem like a bit of a douchebag. Gil being manipulative isn't exactly new. He was definitely manipulative back in Zero. He was totally okay with Kirei, you know, with forming a new contract because he found his original master kind of boring. I shall take part in that joy once we're done with what we must do. Archer smiles for some reason. Sensing something evil in it, Shinji finally feels uneasiness about the servant's identity. I mean, to be fair, Shinji, you're not the nicest guy either. But, I suppose you're not evil on the level of, like, Castor. The 8th servant. Oh, you know that there's 8 servants. Okay. A heroic spirit that should not exist. The strongest king of heroes, said to have existed since the last Holy Grail War. This Gil seems slightly more serious than Fate Gil. Debatable. I don't know. Based on the order of events, Gil was just hanging back, it seems like, for the whole time in Timeline 1. So, in this one, I mean, he was still after the Grail. But it is interesting that when given an option to go after Saber, he's saying, oh, there's something else we should do first. To be fair, though, in the other timeline, Ilya was hanging out with Shiro by that point, so she was easy to track down instead of maybe being with the Einsburns. The strongest king of heroes, said to have existed since the last Holy Grail War. So far, I'm not seeing anything that says that to me rings as any kind of disturbance. Maybe something's going on with Gil, where he's also going through. Maybe it's the Archer syndrome. They always feel that something weird's happening in a new timeline, but so far to me, it feels like this could all just fit with how his personality was in Timeline 1 as well. Strongest king of heroes, said to have existed since the last Holy Grail War.
そういえば聞いてなかったね。
Oh yeah, come to think of it, I haven't asked you before. Shinji speaks, still trying to preserve his superiority. That is a failing battle, Shinji. You should do this thing called give up, you suck.
なんだ聞けば答えるぞマスター
Wow, you actually called him Master, look at that. I think that's his first time calling him Master. What? I shall answer if you question me, Master. I wonder how much Kirei had to pay him in souls to get him to call him that. Maybe that's the tip-off, because calling him Master I wouldn't expect. I'd expect him to maybe play along with Shinji's bullshit, but calling him Master, maybe that is a tip-off that something more is going on, but...
お前の望み、聖杯を手に入れたらさ、お前はどうしたいんだ、アーチャー。
It's about your wish. What do you want to do after you obtain the Holy Grail, Archer? I mean, he already got it, so he just wants Saber to get it so that they can bang forever. Unless his wish has changed. It's a natural question. A heroic spirit that is half immortal and has all the treasures in the world. What can this man possibly wish for now? Uh-huh. So you know that he's even Gilgamesh? Well, I guess you know that he's, you said, the strongest king of heroes. I guess that's fair. I thought maybe it could have been one of those things where, well, he won the Grail War, so he must be the king of heroes. But, okay. Has all the treasures in the world. What can this man possibly wish for now?
なんだそんなことも知らなかったの
What? You did not know? Archer says so with surprise. Oh. His face is smiling as if he found a small happiness. Oh, what? The fact that Shinji doesn't know? So that he can, like, pull it over like, haha! Because it's funny, because... It's just funny when he doesn't know things. I mean, it is funny when Shinji doesn't know things. I guess. Sure. He's easy to make fun of, is what I'm saying, I suppose. Because he has an ego. And so making fun of people with egos is funny? Yes. I would agree with that sentiment. Oh no. I mean, it depends on the context. As long as it's not me. I have an ego. Oh, no. His face is smiling as if he found a small happiness.
我は豪勢なものを許す。装飾華美など最もめでるべきものだ。
Okay. That feels like Timeline 1 Guild.
余分なものに与える意義などない。
I allow everything that is magnificent. A splendid ornament is something I must admire the most, but I cannot stand giving it to the meaningless extras. You talking about the Grail? You can admire it, but you would refuse to give it to an extra, so it must go to you?
余分なもの
Extras?
昔の話なのだがな。10人の奴隷を選び、その中でいなくとも良いものを殺そうとしたことがある。
It happened a long time ago. I chose 10 servants
シンジ。
and tried to kill the one that I did not need. What do you think happened, Shinji? You chose 10 servants? You mean actual servants or like Grail War type servants? Probably actual servants from when he was alive. It's a little confusing if that's the case. He might as well have said slaves then. But I chose 10 servants and tried to kill the one that I did not need. Okay. What does this have to do with admiring though? That you learned to admire the one you tried to kill because they succeeded in not getting killed? What do you think happened, Shinji?
はみんな奴隷なんだろうなら全員殺したんじゃないの
Oh, capitalization matters? That's dumb because in the Japanese language there is no capitalization. Therefore, they must have been using a different word in the Japanese language. I chose 10 servants, tried to kill the one that I did not need. What do you think happened, Shinji? Huh? They were all slaves, right? Then didn't you kill them all? Oh, kill them all? Well, you need some slaves. If you have no slaves, then, I mean, you're gonna have to do some mundane bullshit. I chose 10 servants and tried to kill the one that I did not... Is that meant to be the ones? Should it be the one or the ones? Didn't you kill them all? Oh, okay. Maybe they're saying that he was trying to kill all of them.
いやいや、それがな、一人も殺せなかった。いかな人足とはいえ、無駄なものなどいなかったのだ。
No, I actually could not kill anybody. None of the laborers were meaningless in the old world. Yes, they served an important role to facilitate your reign on the top. If you kill the people you don't need, and you need some people, well, there you go. You're not killing the people. Solved it. Plot hole. Loophole. He shrugs his shoulders ironically and steps forward. A deeper darkness. He raised his foot over the dark shadow. So Shinji just knows this shit. Interesting. That there's an 8th servant. How much did Kirei tell him? I guess Kirei didn't need to tell him that he has Lancer. There's a servant that needs a master. The servants from the last Grail War. He could potentially fight again if he has Shinji as his master. Is that the line that he gave Shinji, I guess? Huh. I suppose. He shrugs his shoulders ironically and steps forward. A deeper darkness. He raises his foot over the dark shadow.
だが、この世界には余分が溢れている。10人どころか、1000人という人間を選んだところで、殺せない人間など出てきまい。
Ah, the world of the present. Now that there's so much more convenience, there's a lot of wasted people. I can understand that logic. We should kill half of them. This world is filled with extras. I believe there would not be a single meaningful person, even if I sought through 1,000 people. I can probably agree with that. I mean, I guess it depends if you target specific people, but there's probably replacements in place to fill the roles that certain important people might be fulfilling. Obviously, the nice thing to do would just be to not do it because, you know, people not dying is nice. However, you're probably right. You could probably kill 1,000 random people in the world and it wouldn't have any major repercussions. Considering thousands of people probably die daily. Now, if one person killed 1,000, that's probably not big of a deal. But like, if like there was like 1,000 people, I don't know. At a certain point, if you kill a certain number, then it would matter. But yes, 1,000 people dying wouldn't really have much of a repercussion on the world in general. In fact, people die at a fairly regular rate. So, People are also born, though, at a regular rate. You know, it's kind of a race. And at the moment, the born people are winning still, I believe. But I know it changes, but in general, I believe people being born has been winning for a while. This world is filled with extras. I believe there would not be a single meaningful person even if I sought through 1,000 people.
まったく恐ろしく人間に優しい世界になったものだ。
Man, this world has gotten so friendly to humans.
わけわかんないな。結局何が欲しいんだよ、アーチャー。お前だって欲しいものがあるから聖杯を手に入れようって言うんだろ。なら
I don't get it. What do you want, Archer? You want the Holy Grail because you have something you want, right? Then, yeah, this world has gotten so friendly to humans. Is he trying to do a Thanos? Maybe that's what he wants. He wants the world to... I mean, in Timeline 1, it seemed more like he just wanted Saber as a waifu, but maybe that was his servant wish. And he also had a master wish, and the master wish might have been, let's do a Thanos, because there's too much wasted space. I can understand that. The motivation would be very different, but... You want the Holy Grail because you have something you want, right? Then... Archer does not answer. The Golden Man does not even turn to his master and...
簡単な話だ。多いということはそれだけで気色が悪い。
It is a simple thing. A lot of something is ugly by itself. I would agree with that statement. Too much of too much of something, in excess is bad. Chocolate ice cream, I like it, but you have too much at once, you get a brain freeze. Then you feel stupid. That's a perfectly understandable motivation. This is non-horny Gil. Well, I mean, well, if Shiro's gotten over her, maybe Gil has too. But no, I think he's just. This seems like it could be still from Timeline 1, but maybe the Timeline 1 version just put off seeing Saber for so long. Where here it hasn't been quite as long, I don't think. Or maybe more fun stuff has been happening. He's been able to observe the war. That he hasn't felt the itch to really bang her. Or maybe he can like feel her energy and feels her hormones rising as Shiro courts her in the other timeline. And so at a certain point it's like, oh, she's in the right horny mood. I need to bang her. And here though, her hormones are not rising, so he doesn't get the itch himself. Oh. It's a simple thing. A lot of something is ugly by itself. Things are beautiful in their uniqueness. I can understand that. Humans in general are unique, for sure, but of course, the more you get, the more you are going to have overlap in several areas. Lowers his raised foot into the darkness. A smashing sound. Ooh, grody, what is that? Is it bugs? On the ground are numerous smashed bugs, with more swarming around. Okay. Is that where it ends? Because I have some thoughts. Okay, we're day changing? Do we see what happened with Shiro? Strike lovers. Okay. Oh, right. It's not going to continue. I'll continue one. How does it start? It's morning. Okay, I have some thoughts. We might take an intermission here, too. But I think I'll give my thoughts first. So, bugs. There's a lot of bugs, huh? So, the bug's the representation of the ideology or something. Oh, yeah, he's smashing them like insects because there's so many more. Too many humans, same thing, smash them. Oh, yeah, I can see the representation. The metaphorical, oh, he's smashing the bugs underneath him. There's way too many. Just like there's way too many humans. I can totally get that. However, the bugs. I think this is our first time in the visual novel really going over these bugs. These bugs are telling because, as I've said, I've seen Fate Zero, but it's been a while, and my memories are iffy. However, I do remember something, which I guess is now relevant. The guy, I'm bad with names in general, I suppose. So I guess they probably mentioned it, and I didn't know at the time. The guy who was controlling Berserker and Fate Zero, he had like bugs, I believe. So I guess that was a motto then. I guess. My memories of a lot of the stuff around him are sketchy, but I guess he was a motto then. I guess it's all coming around. Huh, 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 huh. That didn't fully, some of the stuff there is still sketchy. Like, there are some implications there of a stranger's child. Like, is there an adoption? I don't exactly know what that's all about. And I think, I don't, alright. My memories of Fate Zero are definitely sketchy, but I do know, and I think I said this at some point earlier in the novel, that, yeah, Berserker's master was a buggy man. Interesting. Who was he then? Was he meant to be Shinji and Sakura's father? I don't remember exactly. I don't remember his story, really. But he was a bug man. So I think he was a motto. I think that was the idea. Okay, there's something there. There's something there. And I don't exactly remember, which I guess is a good thing. It's morning. But, oh yeah, let's make a save point here because I do have to pee. So will be our one mission probably. The bugs. The bugs attack. Oh, I love that clicking. Don't you love that clicking? Click, 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 click. All right, and we're back. So it's morning. So just thinking again about the some of the Fate Zero implications. I remember that I believe it was I believe Rin's dad had some beef with him. They had beef with each other, I think. I don't remember the exact circumstances, but yeah, because roughly Rin's dad got taken out by Kirei. And then later on, Berserker lasted a while longer. But I don't remember exactly what happened. But I guess he died. I don't remember the exact circumstances in Fate Zero. Berserker made it till towards the end of the Fate Zero war, but motto, interesting. Okay, bugs. That's gross. So if he was the father, actually, let me think about that for a second. If he's the father, Shinji's already said the idea of he doesn't like his father. His father didn't want to carry it on. Maybe then the idea is Rin's dad went and died off in the war. Okay, there's a through line there. Rin's dad had already been all like, Rin, you must learn the magic. Even when I'm gone, you must learn it. Maybe Shinji and Sakura's dad was not like that. Maybe he didn't want to pass anything on. And then he died in the Grail War and then just let it die with him, at least in theory. But then the grandfather was like, ha ha ha, you activated my trap card by dying. Now I take over. Or something. It's morning. I slowly open my eyes. Okay, Shiro, are you still Shiro? Have you transformed into the Archer Super Saiyan that is within you? The night that felt like it had lasted forever has ended. Were you hurting in pain that whole time? Because that's not good. That's no bueno. Man, that clicking is so ominous. Click, 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 click.
よかった。体の痛みなくなってる。
Good, the pain's gone. With it, is there any kind of revelation about the swords that are within you giving you pain? Has it done something? Have you learned something? Have you grown? Have you physically changed? Have you mentally changed? I don't know if I could not bear the pain anymore, or if the pain went away at some point. Anyway, I feel no pain, I don't feel sleepy nor tired. I feel like you've developed. You're going through magical puberty. My head is cleared up as I managed to get about 3 hours of sleep. That's low, even for you, but okay.
よし。じゃ、朝飯作るとするか。
Alright, I'll go make breakfast. I get up from the sweaty futon. Then, uh-oh! As soon as I get up, my left foot slips. Uh-oh! Huh? Are? It slips. You don't have proper control of your body because you're in a different body now. My foot slips. I touch my left foot thinking it's strange. Is it strange? Is it a sword? You're made of swords now. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't feel tired. 3 hours of sleep. Yeah. I've done sometimes 4 hours not felt tired. If you have a 3-hour sleep cycle, it's possible. But after so much pain in your sleep, my body would like kick me out for an extra long period of time. Touch my left foot thinking it's strange. There's nothing wrong with it. Are you sure? There's no pain nor blood. Wait, what? There's no pain? No. Oh, is this sense in yourself? Maybe it hurts so bad that there's no more sense. Maybe you've lost all feeling. Because it's not you anymore. There's no pain nor blood. And I don't feel like I'm touching my leg. I touch my left foot. Well, your leg would be different from your foot unless you're semantics. If you sleep 3 hours or wake up rested only to feel like, yeah, I've done that. I used to do that. I try to, I don't really do that anymore. But I used to do sometimes where like I'd wake up for like 3 to 4 hours and then go back to sleep after a few hours. Now I try to make it all together at once. But I used to do that sometimes. There's no pain nor blood, and I don't feel like I'm touching my leg. You don't feel like you're touching your leg? Yeah, something might be changed with his mind. It might be changing to adapt with his weird body. Huh? I don't feel anything on my left leg or my left arm. You don't feel anything as in no pain? Or you just don't feel anything there at all? Like the nerve, you don't feel. I tried pinching the left side of my cheek and again, feel nothing. Yeah, he's just not feeling. Maybe the pain was so bad that he just stopped feeling to deal with it. Weird. Ellipses. I guess my body hasn't fully healed yet, even though the pain went away. I suppose. The whole left side of my body is numb, and it doesn't feel like it's my body. I think something like this happens frequently. Frequently? I know this happens, like maybe with the dentist or the doctor, where they'll numb you up so that they can inspect your grody bits. But, oh, numb. Maybe your body, your superhero body is like, that's too much pain, we'll numb you up because it's going to hurt. While it fixes itself, while you have your puberty, your magical puberty, we're going to numb your body up. Gotta turn off those pain nerves. I think something like this happens frequently.
土蔵で寝違える時だ。腕を下敷きにしちまって、起きたら血が通ってなかったんだっけ。
It's like when I sleep in a wrong position in the shed. I'd use my arm as a pillow. I'd use my arm as a pillow and blood wouldn't be flowing in it when I woke up. Sure, but like, I feel like if you pinch your cheek and don't feel anything, that's a big deal. That's not normal. I've had sometimes numb feelings in my body too when I wake up, but I can still touch my foot and feel something. Even if it feels kind of weird, I like know something's there. The full numb feeling, that's very different, in my opinion. Yeah, that. I think you're lying to yourself. This is like the numbing one gets from having the blood circulation to a limb cut off temporarily. I don't think so, because how is blood temporarily cut off to your head? Yeah, your leg falling asleep's definitely not the same thing as this. Well, it moves fine, so it should heal in time. It reacts slowly, and it feels like, okay, it moves fine, so it's, oh, I see, your foot and stuff is still moving even though you can't feel it. It reacts slowly, and it feels like I'm moving it using a controller. Oh, cool, video games! But it shouldn't hinder my everyday life if I'm careful. I refrained from using a knife this morning and make a simple breakfast consisting mainly of bread. Reacts slowly, and it feels like I'm moving it using a controller. It shouldn't hinder my everyday life if I'm careful. So is anyone going to see you and think you're weird? I guess it's more of an internal thing if nobody sees you and thinks you're weird. I refrained from using a knife this morning and make a simple breakfast consisting... Oh, I see. You're not going to use a knife because you don't want to risk cutting yourself because you wouldn't even notice. Makes sense. Knife this morning and make a simple breakfast consisting mainly of bread. My dominant hand, the right hand, is good, so I can use the frying pan. I cook some ham and eggs. Instant clam... Okay, you're still making it fancy. A simple breakfast consisting mainly of bread. I cook some ham and eggs, instant clam chowder, and make breakfast for 3. Oh, it's still simple. Gosh. Even when you're making simple breakfast, it's still crazy good, Shiro. Gosh, Shiro, gosh. Maybe Shinji can beat him because he's numb? Debatable.
いただきます。
Okay, she's not saying anything, so I guess it's an internal thing, and out externally, he's still pubertying, but hasn't quite made any big changes. I think it's probably more of an internal change then. Internally, his body is going through developments. Itadakimasu.
いただきます。
Itadakimasu. The two bow and dig into the toast. Saber eats the toast and salad like always, munching and nodding. Okay. Yeah. It's interesting to see Saber using chopsticks, but Western food suits her more. That's so... Is that... What? What even is that kind of compliment in your head, Shiro? That comment. What is that? That's stereotyping. But it's like not even... I guess it's not a problem as long as it's in your head. Just don't say it out loud, I guess. That's so weird. Dash. Saber is usually quiet. It's not that she's untalkative, but it seems like she considers silence a virtue. Well, that's good. Don't talk when you eat. I agree. Talking when you eat is just rude and jerky, and don't be a jerk. This is how she is during meals. That's good. Thumbs up. That's the best way to be. It's easier for me to stay quiet during meals, so a meal like this is ideal for me.
あれ
Eh? He said alright. I'm sorry. I said eh. Then I realized why it's so quiet this morning. No Taiga! Where is she? In a word. Oh, is she here?
や、おはよう。ってあれ？何？今朝はフランス？
Hey, morning! Oh, we're having French food this morning? Is it meant to be French? Toast and salad and ham and stuff, that all sounds rather American to me, but maybe Taiga wouldn't know any better. Or maybe I don't know any better. Maybe it is French. Fujine didn't stay over last night. Oh. Oh, okay, that would make sense, because Shiro was feeling all fucked up, so it'd be weird if Taiga was like, what's going on with you, Shiro? Or rather, it'd be weird if she didn't do that, and she didn't, so I guess she wasn't here. I guess that makes sense. Where was she? What were you doing? Was there something going on?
そうだよ。今朝はフランスはカフェマルリー風にしてみました。
The way they say
してみま
France.
したんで、黙って食え。
I enjoy the way they say France so much. Yep, I cooked French food this morning, so just be quiet and eat. I give Fujine her mug. Mug? You can't eat from a mug, though. You drink from the mug. Unless there's soup in there, I guess.
その割にはそこはかとなくインスタントの匂いがするよ、シロ。
But this kind of smells like instant food, Shiro. Maybe it partially is. I'm off my game today. Chillax, woman.
気のせいだ。起きたばっかりだから鼻が利かないんだろ。
It's just your imagination. Your nose isn't working too well since you just woke up. Oh, that's right. Taiga wasn't around last night because she was looking in all the people that were hospitalized or whatever, and she wanted to see all of them. So I guess that's why she couldn't stay over, possibly? Or unless there's a different reason.
そっか、言われてみればそうかも。あ、セーバーちゃんもおはよう。昨日は帰れなくてごめんね。
I see you might be right. Oh, good morning to you too, Saber-chan. I'm sorry I couldn't come home last night. Gomenye. I like the way her voice actor. I just love Taiga's delivery. Possibly my favorite voice actor in the game. Possibly. Definitely the reads. It's complemented by the dialogue she gets, but the way she reads it, so good. Fujine gulps down the hot clam chowder like some kind of sports drink. Hot clam chowder. Okay, that is kind of foodish. I bet there's some special coating on her throat.
おはようタイガ。昨夜は姿が見えませんでしたが、何かあったのですか？
Good morning, Taiga. I did not see you yesterday. Was something wrong? Okay, so I guess I'm right/wrong. It seems like Taiga was not have a normal reason, even though there was the hospitalization stuff. I guess that wasn't the reason. Yeah, I had to work. Well, no. She's lying. I'm just going around visiting people who are sick. Okay, so we already knew that. So it is more or less the same thing, unless that's a lie. I had to work. Well, no, I'm just going around visiting people who are sick, but I ended yesterday, so I can relax again today. Okay, so she was doing the thing I thought she was doing, but apparently she's done with it today/yesterday. I understand. She puts margarine on her bread while she's speaking. It doesn't really matter, but Fujine doesn't use butter. But what if about can't believe it's not butter? How about that? Ugh. I can ask her why, but I don't want to since I'm sure I'll get a stupid response. Wouldn't you know by now? Unless she's specially not using it today for some reason. I feel like you've known her long enough that if she doesn't use butter, you'd know why she doesn't use butter, unless she's specially not using it today. I guess maybe she has a special reason. I don't want her just to give a stupid response.
なあ、藤根。入院したやつで重症なのは何人ぐらいいるんだ？
Hey, Fujine. How many students are in a serious condition out of the ones who went to the hospital?
重症な子はいないよ。今は病院で様子を見てるだけで、週が明ければみんな元気に登校できるって。
No one's in a serious condition. They're all just staying at the hospital to be safe, and I hear they can all come back to school next week. Oh, okay. Nobody's seriously fucked up by Shinji's last antic. And hopefully they won't be too fucked up by his next antic.
だから大丈夫よ、シロ。今回の事故は気にしないで、気楽に言っていいんだから。
It's alright, Shiro. Just relax and don't worry about that incident. I know you want me to not worry, but I was kind of directly involved, and I would know I can't say that to you, but I'm gonna worry. Fujine bites into her toast. She looks so carefree that looking at her makes me feel like I can trust her. Trust her enough to tell you the truth, though? Probably not. You can trust her, but can you trust yourself that you can keep her safe if you tell her? Probably not. That's where you'd start getting into the realm of the Tosaka problem of, I can't tell anyone the magical stuff, so I have to be secluded, grumble, grumble. But at least you have Tosaka to convey your magical stuff with, even after the Grail Ward's over, theoretically, if nobody dies. This time nobody even got blind or permanent brain damage. Taiga certainly came out of it better. Ah.
そっか。それはよかった。
I see, that's good.
そうそう。世はすべてこともなし。私も今日の夕ご飯を楽しみにしてるのだ。
That's cute how she's trying to raise my spirits because she sees that I'm maybe worried about it. Yep, everything's alright. I'll be looking forward to dinner tonight. She had a peaceful smile. Too peaceful. Yeah, at times like this, she reminds me that Fujine is Fujine. That's good. She's Fujine, not Tiger.
それじゃあ行ってくる。今まで通り留守番よろしくな、セイバー。
I'll be going. Please take care of the house while I'm gone, Saber. You're gonna go meet up with Rin? You know, it would be arguably better if you two just stayed over at each other's house like you did in the other timeline. I guess the reasoning behind not doing it is that you both have servants. Theoretically is the practical reason, but really though, I think it's more your hormones are gonna feel way too gross for doing it, even though I think practically that is the right answer here. Because especially if you're going out to school at this point, that's a risk. It's a big risk. Castor definitely knows where you are now. And Kuzuki knows where you are too and might take advantage of that. You guys are definitely the more vulnerable ones, not Kuzuki, I would say, at this point. Maybe he'll stay at the place. Maybe he won't. He'll come to school and you'll have an awkward 3-off. Or 4-off if Shinji comes over, I suppose. I'll be going. Please take care of the house while I'm gone, Saber.
はい。 それはいいのですが、シロ、台所に食事の作り置きがないようでしたが、
Duh.
今日は昼食抜きなのですか？
That's cute. Oh, the blush. Yes, that's fine, but Shiro, I did not see anything made in the kitchen. Am I to go without lunch today? Is it fine? Is it really fine? You just staying, like, at home again. I can't keep using a command spell to summon you. And we're just trusting Archer. If we're this trusting of Rin, we should, like, stay over at her place at this point. Because we're just trusting her to not fuck us over when we're going to school and keep leaving Saber behind every time. If we can trust Kazuki's words, I assume he ain't gonna attack Shiro. Oh, I believe that. I said as much in the last stream that he feels defensive, so I doubt Kazuki is going to do anything, even if Kazuki does come to school. But Shiro and Rin are like, oh, he probably won't come to school, and I'm like, I think he totally could come to school, and it's just he's not gonna do anything if you don't do anything. But yeah, Saber, it's weird to keep leaving her home like this. It shows a crazy amount of trust in Rin. And if Shiro trusts Rin this much, they should be staying in each other's place. Like, he could, even if, you know, I don't know, maybe Rin, theoretically, this would be an excuse. I can't let him see inside my workshop, I guess. And Rin can't stay over if Saber's gonna be here, so maybe that's still the excuse, but, Still seems so iffy. If you're putting this much trust, I still think Saber coming. Like, we had Saber come the one time. I thought that was a nice way of leaning into the whole Saber coming each time. I know she doesn't have to because of the Rin Alliance, but that's so, you know... But again, because if, you know, you're going to want both servants, theoretically, you had Saber last time and not Archer, but you were in a really bad position. If you had both, it'd be nice to have both. If Kazuki gets in a fight, it'd be nice if you have both servants. I don't know, this feels like... Hormones are the reason that this isn't going much of anywhere smart when it should be, so get over your hormonalness. Anyways.
いや、今日は土曜だから早く帰ってこれるんだ。少し遅くなるけど、昼飯時には戻ってくるから、昼ご飯は俺が作るよ。
Oh no, I can come on early day since it's Saturday. I'll be a bit late, but I'll be back by lunchtime to make lunch. Or you won't, because you get jumped by Shinji, or Kazuki, or Ilya, all possible options. Like, unless you're babysitted by Rin on your way home, which I don't believe you are because you part ways going home, even though that's not practical at all, even if you are going to be staying separately, that you're just going to be in danger of getting jumped. I'll be a bit late, but I'll be back by lunchtime to make lunch. Just replace hormones with ego, and we got the genuine renegade experience. Excuse me? I have hormones. What are you talking about? What, you think all of my problems relate to ego? I have hormonal problems. What are you talking about? You want to fight, wise fool? Maybe you aren't that wise after all. You think I don't have hormonal issues? How dare you? Anyways, be back by lunchtime to make lunch.
そうですか。シロ、そういうことはきちんと言ってもらわねば困ります。どうも今朝のシロは気が緩んでいるようです。反応も鈍いですし、
Yes.
何か気がかりなことでもあるのですか?
All the more reason for you to come with him. I get it, she has to recover her energy, but I feel in such a tense situation, I feel like she should come. Wow, because they know Kazuki is at the school, I guess it's debatable. But also, isn't dragon sex an option by this point? I know Rin isn't going to suggest it, but this feels like a bad situation to constantly be separated by Saber. Like, eventually it's going to bite us in the butt when someone attacks us. Unless we're going away to attack them, which I guess we did yesterday with Kazuki, but that didn't turn out too great because Archer wasn't even there. Why wasn't Archer there? If we had all been there, that just seems like a dumb move. If we're not even going to all be there when we attack, what's the point of this goddamn alliance? I see, Shiro. It's troubling if you do not tell me about such matters. It seems you are pretty careless this morning. Your reactions are slow, too. Okay, Saber noticed then. Do you have something that's worrying you? It's still bothering him then. I meant in a war dummy LP. I may have overestimated you, though, if your hormones would infringe you in a war, and my apology. I don't know, though. My ego? I mean, in a dummy war... Would my ego be a problem? I don't know. I have slight ego problems, but I think that in such a situation, I could put it in check to an extent if it was a life and death thing, I wouldn't be worrying about, oh, I want to feel like I'm the winner. I'd just be worrying about living. I'd probably be able to put my ego in check and only gloat after I won, if I won. For hormonal issues, I think that's arguably what might trap me more, because I'd want to save people with my penis. I'd want to try to get some kind of alliance with, you know, someone who I want to save with. Debatable. I don't know. It's hard to say until it actually happened. But I feel like I could keep my ego in check. I don't know if I could keep my hormones in check. I think it depends on the situation. It depends a lot. I think I would know to keep my hormone. I think consciously I would make an effort to do it, but subconsciously it might be a problem. I don't know. Anyways, do you have something that is worrying you? We're still at 666 drop frames ever since the intermission. That's perfect. The perfect amount. I love it. Oh. Anyways, do you have something that's worrying you?
いや、別にないぞ。昨日の今日で体がまだ重いけど、こんなのすぐに戻る。
Huh? No, my body's still heavy from yesterday, but this should get back to normal in no time. The left side of my body is still numb, but it doesn't hurt, so there's no problem. It could be a fucking problem. Especially if you get attacked without your servant, you won't even know maybe that you feel pain. You could get like a thing thrown into you in the backside, your left shoulder blade. Is it your left or right? It's your left that's numb, because you can still use your right. Maybe you get thrown into your left shoulder blade and you don't even notice it's there. It hurt. Maybe it's actually doing damage, but you don't notice because you're numb. These things are a problem. They could be a problem, Shiro. Left side of my body is still numb, but it doesn't hurt, so there's no problem. It not hurting could exactly be why it's a problem. I can't tell Saber about such a thing and worrying her. Oh, yes, you can! You're part of the war with her. You should tell her these things. That's what it's about. She's your partner in the war. You don't want to worry her, what? Because you care about her delicate feelings? If you don't want to worry her, the other thing is that you think you're confident enough in your own abilities for it to not be a problem. But is that really true? Or are you maybe confident enough in Rin's abilities while you're with Rin? Or is this a bit of a self-loathing thing? Isn't the self-loathing, or are you actually confident more in your abilities now? That would be a character development thing, I think. I feel like it's just ultimately hormones. I think it's all hormones. It's Shiro's hormones for Rin, and now slight hormones for Saber. There's still slight of that sexism, just a little bit. But I think it's also avoiding the hard truth. He doesn't want to worry her, but it's more that he doesn't want to worry himself, because he probably thinks there is something there. He doesn't want to, even though he got over more or less his avoiding hard truths in Timeline 1, I think, I've said this before, but it's more about weird truths. The idea that there's something really weird with him is weird, and it is a hard truth, but when it's that hard, he maybe hasn't crossed the threshold yet. If he can still sword birth, he's still pretty decent at fight. How do we know if he can sword birth? He just does that shit on the fly!
まあ確かに悪かった。食事はセイバーの唯一の趣味だもんな。謝罪の意味も込めて昼飯は5銭にするからそれで帳消しにしてくれ。
Well, you're right that it's my fault. Meals are your only hobby. I'll make a big lunch to show my apology, so let's call it even. I wave goodbye and go to the door. Show my apology. Let's call it even, okay?
何か今の言いようは納得いきません。私はただ食事を抜いては有事の際に力が出せないと。
That's a Sun side of Saber, I'd argue. Meals are your only hobby. You do love my food. She doesn't want to admit to that. I cannot agree with what you just said. It is only that I would not have energy in emergencies if I skip meals. Of course, you be cute, Saber.
いいからいいから。それじゃあ留守番よろしくな、セイバー。
That's a pretty good deflection, Shiro, from your real problems that she worries about her own potential problem. Just forget about it. See ya, Saber. Alright. I leave Saber's complaints behind me.
なんだ、思ったより疲れる。
Oh, you realize just as you get out the door that it could be a problem. Maybe you want to deal with the problem. I thought you were not ignoring hard truths now, Shiro. Seems like when it's this hard, maybe you fight back against it. Whoa, this is more tiring than I thought. I touched my numb left leg. It didn't happen when I was in the house, but I start feeling sick once I start walking. Oh boy. I mean, yeah, just walking casually around the house won't be a big deal, but when you're actually walking a long distance to school, that's gonna matter. Even though it doesn't affect my movements, it's a big mental burden to walk with a numb body.
いや、これぐらい我慢しないと。この程度、二人に比べたらどうってことないんだから。
I have to bear it. This is nothing compared to those two. Which two? What two? What do you mean? Compared to when you were being fought? When you got attacked? What do you mean? Who is those two? Which two? Rin and Archer? You can't just mean Saber. Saber and Rin? Saber and Archer. What pain? Huh? Even though she healed up, Saber got her throat cut and was smashed against a wall. Oh. But she's a servant. She'll be fine. Even though she healed up, Saber got her cut throat. Oh, and I guess Rin got hit a little bit. But I think what you got is still worse than what Rin probably got. Rin didn't get that hurt. All that self-hatred. Yep, that's still there for sure. Tosaka took that hammer-like blow to her chest. I don't think that's much compared to how you're feeling. Like, yes, it probably hurt. I'm sure it hurt. But I think that, what you're feeling right now is, and the pain you felt last night is definitely worse, in my opinion. Assuming she didn't feel any extra pain beyond what we can assume. It should be nothing for me, as I didn't actually take a hit. You had so much pain last night, you're counting that as nothing? Even if it should be, it's not nothing.
さて、
Oh, well. I step out with my numb left leg and start walking down the hill. I feel slightly nauseous. That's bad. I walk to school with ghost-like steps. This can only lead to good things. Then, oops, I pressed the button. School's over before I notice it. Well, okay, you made it to school and nothing bad happened. You're halfway there. You're halfway through the bullshit. It might be because of my body, but I don't have a sense of time. Rin taking care of sick Shiro. I mean, I don't think Shiro's even gonna say that he's sick. Maybe Rin will just notice, but she has to notice, because Shiro isn't gonna say it. It might be because of my body, but I don't have a sense of time. I can understand that, if you're constantly feeling all wiggly-woggly. I mean, would time progress faster? Might be slower. I guess it depends. I don't remember anything about the lectures. That makes sense. You're too focused on yourself. And I'm not too sure what I did either.
まずいかな、やっぱり。
Could this be bad? Are you finally willing to admit it? If it's taking this long, you maybe should have stayed home if you felt this bad. Normally, if you were to feel this bad, I feel like this is the kind of thing that would make you call in sick. Because you actually do feel kind of sick, yet you didn't even think to do it. I guess because, maybe you've never, had this kind of, I mean, maybe it's not a normal sickness, but, I don't know, like, how often do you normally not call in sick? Are you the kind of person who gets a bit sick and thinks, I'd be a burden to people in general if I called in sick? I should just go to school and deal with it. He seems like that kind of person with his self-hatred. At least now he's realizing, could this be bad? The left side of my body is still numb. I suppose it's more than just calling in sick because he has an arrangement with Tosaka, but, I don't know, he could send a liaison. There's not really a good liaison. He could have Saber, like, go to their house and try to contact them later on. I don't know. Even though I don't feel anything, having it numb for so long gets me worried. He could just not go to school, and they should have a better way to communicate at this point, to be honest, but he could just not go to school. Rin would come wondering what the heck's up to his house, and then he'd be like, oh yeah, sorry, I was feeling sick and I didn't want to risk anything, which Rin would get all mad about, but then she'd be happy that he's okay, so, she'd have some of that sun and some of that dare. Having it numb for so long gets me worried.
なんか感じないくせに重くなってきた気がするし。
I don't feel it, but it seems like it's getting heavier. Maybe he's like in his cocoon phase. He's gone from being insects again. He's gone from being the caterpillar. He's in the cocoon while his body is all wiggly woggly. Last night he was the caterpillar. It was making the cocoon. Now he's in the cocoon, and sooner or later he's going to come out of the cocoon, and he'll just be Archer. That's how it works, right? The nausea won't go away either. And of course, Kazuki wasn't at school. Oh, well. I wouldn't have been too surprised if he was, but I guess it's not that weird for him to not be.
帰ろう。セイバーもお腹減らしてるだろうし。
I'll go home. Saber's probably hungry. Are we not even going to run into Rin today? Because, I mean, what's even the point of going to school if you're not even going to run into Rin and have a talk? I feel like there's no point if you're not even going to have a talk with Rin today. I grabbed my bag to go home. Like, going to school just to go to school on a day when you're feeling this shitty should never have happened. Unless you were planning to meet up with Rin and have a talk, there was no point to coming to school today. That's just the self-hatred coming through. I grabbed my bag to go home. I think I've forgotten to do something, but I should remember once I get home and rest. What, talk with Tosaka? Is that what you forgot? Oh. I remember when I walk up the hill with my numb left leg.
そういえば、遠坂と話をするの忘れてた。
I forgot to talk to Tosaka. I forgot about it since I had my hands full with my body and since my head was spaced out. So she'll probably end up showing up at your place then, because she'll get all worried. It'll probably be exactly what happened anyways. I mean, I was saying he should just stay home and let it happen, but he went to school anyways, and now it's probably going to happen anyway. She's going to come all worried, being all, oh no, is he okay? And then when she finds out he's okay, she's going to be like, you idiot, and show her soon. Well, I'm sure nothing big happened since she didn't come see me. Considering my condition, I can contact her once I get better. I mean, she's probably going to contact you first. She might be worried about you. You guys have been meeting up each day, knowing her and how much she loves you. She's probably going to contact you before you get a chance to contact her.
Tadaima!
I'm home. I announce myself loudly and head to the kitchen. I put the food... For a second, I thought, I announced myself loudly, and when I walk in, Ren's already there. I put the food I brought in the refrigerator, wash my hands, and put on my apron. I'm making a codfish pot tonight, so I'll use some meat for lunch. Okay. I think about making teriyaki chicken and start getting ready. Okay.
シロ、帰ったのですか?
Are you home, Shiro? I indeed am. Saber must have heard me as she comes in from the porch.
ああ、遅くなってすまない。すぐに飯にするから休んでいてくれ。セイバーもお腹減って。
What's with the cutoff? Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. You can rest while I cook. You must be hungry. What, is Rin with her? Crap! Oh, did you break something? I dropped the dish in my hand since I was preoccupied with Saber. Yeah, you can't focus. You can't focus. You can't control your body and, like, talk at once. It's too much for your weakened body. She's definitely going to notice when you drop something like that. You are normally not the klutzy type. You just need to rest, Shiro. You really just need to rest. And maybe tell someone about this to try to figure out what's going on. Maybe tell Rin. Maybe she could know something about what's going on with your body, if it is magical related. Maybe this is what leads into needing the dragon sex. I don't know. I dropped the dish in my hand since I was preoccupied with Saber. Food's more important than sleep. Look, Saber can fucking wait. If Shiro is injured, don't you touch my best husbando.
Shiro, 食器が割れていますが。
Shiro, the plate's broken.
皿を割るなんて初めてだ。
Yeah, that's the first time I've done something like that. If it actually smashed on the floor and it was like a proper like ceramic or whatever plate or glass or then that's probably gonna have glass shards and they're probably gonna be sharp and you should probably be careful about that. I'm surprised as well, so I respond stupidly.
すまん、すぐに片付けるからセイバーは気にせず座っていていいぞ。
No, Shiro. Have your servant clean that up while you freaking rest, man. Sorry, I'll clean it up right away, so you can sit right there. I pick up a piece. The piece that's kind of broken and it's gonna be kind of dangerous, be fucking careful. And you're not even gonna feel the pain if you get it because you're numb, so you might end up getting hurt, but you won't even notice. Cooking to do, I can sleep when I'm dead. Well... Huh? I drop it.
疲れているようですね、シロは。
It seems you are tired, Shiro.
いいです。片付けは私がしますから。シロは調理に専念してください。
No, I will clean it up, so you go ahead and cook. You still want him to focus on the cooking, though. I guess that's how much you like his cooking. That instead of going, you clean it, I will clean it up, you rest. You go, I'll clean it up. Still cook, though. I'm hungry and want your Shiro food. You like his food a little too much, Saber, and should be thinking about his well-being. Bad. Bad servant. Bad. I guess trying to pick it up with my left hand was a mistake. Friends like Shiro that are hurt and try to... that's bad. You should get like a therapist or something for that, I suppose. Depends. Maybe they don't need a therapist, but, you know, a good talking to. Because Shiro, yeah, that's... if you're that hurt, maybe an intervention. If you're hurt and you're not doing anything about it, and you just have too much self-loathing, or something else, some other reason, you know, take care of yourself. You matter. I guess trying to pick it up with my left hand was a mistake. Well, that's a good lesson. Just use the right. Just use everything on your right side. My left hand is still numb, so I'll be really careful when using the kitchen knife. You're gonna fucking use the knife? Are you joking? This morning you didn't want to use the knife, and now you're gonna use the knife? You fucking kidding me? You won't even notice when you get hurt. It'll, like, the pain will happen when you won't notice. That's really bad. Like, if you get hurt and you don't notice, that'll cause a lot of issues. There's a reason the pain happens. It's to tell your body, you need to fix this, otherwise there's going to be serious issues. So if you're numb and the pain happens and you aren't dealing with it, could be really bad.
シロ、無理せずとも結構ですから、単純な料理をお願いします。気を入れてくれるのは嬉しいのですが、料理にあなたの血が混ざっているというのは困る。
Shiro, please do not push yourself. Please make something simple. I am glad that you're trying to do your best, but I do not want your blood in our meal. Yeah. He can heal if he cuts a finger off, it's okay. Is it? We don't know. We can assume that he's, like, super special awesome, but we don't, but, like, he doesn't necessarily know the extent of it, and we know from Timeline 1 that if his will is not in it, he will not heal. And his will is, I think, a little in pieces right now, because of what's going on with his body. Well, I don't want that either. I'd be a failure as a cook.
了解。気合を入れるのは夕飯にして、昼は簡単なもので済ますよ。とりあえずメインはそのまま。予定していたかぼちゃと大根は自重するけどいいかな。
Alright, then I'll put effort into dinner and make a simple lunch. I'll still make what I was planning to. Okay, yeah, when we get to dinner, I'll be fine by then. If you're fine by then, Shiro. I'll put effort into dinner and make a simple lunch. I'll still make what I was planning to, but I won't use any pumpkin or white radish. Is that alright? Does she even know what you're making? Does it matter if you don't use that stuff? Well, Shiro's acting dumb. I think Saber is worse. Yeah, I kind of agree. Saber should be mentally stable right now. Shiro is definitely fucked up right now, and it should be, you know, Saber's responsibility to help him out and just get him to rest. But instead, she really wants that food. Shiro's a good cook. And yeah, I think Saber is, while she should be stable, she's not acting in the best stable way. A hungry Saber is clearly a dangerous Saber. Maybe when she gets some food and she'll start being more rational and be like, that was such a mistake, I'm so sorry, you definitely need to rest now. But I mean, even then, it might be too late, depending. I take 200 grams of chicken, put it on the cutting board, and carefully ready my fork. With your right hand, you mean? And then with your left hand completely out of the way, so it's not in danger of being accidentally cut? You're still cutting, though. Oh my gosh. I have to make the main dish with care because of what I told Saber this morning. What did you tell her this morning? Did you tell her you were going to have some fancy meal? Don't worry about it.
はい。期待しています、シロ。
Yes, I'll be looking forward to it, Shiro. Come on, Saber. Stop thinking so much with your stomach. Saber replies if she can sense my enthusiasm. Dash, dash. Saber, you're feeding his, the issue. By not going against it, you're definitely feeding the issue. I'm more enthusiastic now, which is a problem, because you should be resting. I'll poke some holes first with the fork, and... Oh, did another problem happen?
ピンポン?
Oh, okay, Rin came. She's worried about me. Of course, obviously. Ping pong? Doorbell? Is that what they call a doorbell? I know ping pong is like the noise that a doorbell makes. Is that what they actually call it? Or did he just say the sound effect? I wonder. I'm actually kind of curious. I'm going to look that up real quick. Let's see here. English to Japanese. Doorbell. Doorbell? Okay, come on. Like doorbell might be a thing, but I feel like they have another doorbell rings. Doorbell ringu. Okay, but like, is there a Japanese word? How about door? Door. What? Are you joking? There's no Japanese. Okay, there might be, and they're just giving me the katakana to be easy, to make it easy on themselves. Google Translate loves giving you katakana when it can, even if there is an actual Japanese word for it. I'm sure there's an actual Japanese word for door. Whatever. I think doorbell is not ping pong in Japanese. I think that's just the sound effect. And she was just saying the sound effect. So in English, when he says the doorbell, that's stupid. I mean, I get it, because it's not natural to go ping pong or ding dong. I guess you could. You could totally go ding dong out loud. And it does seem like the kind of thing to say when you're out of it. Anyways, Rin, Google's feeling lazy today, yeah. Rin, hopefully you deal with this mess. Be dare not soon. Or maybe maybe Shiro needs the sun right now. Maybe what he needs is for Rin to be like, "Are you stupid? Take care of yourself, you idiot." So, you know, that could work too. Doorbell?
シロ、来客のようですが。
Shiro, it seems there's a visitor.
そうみたいだな。ちょっと出てくる。
I guess so, I'll go get it.
はい、今出ます。
I'm coming! I jogged to the door. Be careful, don't fall on your face. It's rare for someone to come visit at this time. Fujine doesn't ring the bell, and she has a spare key. She doesn't ring the bell. Yeah, it does seem like a Fujine. Well, she does think of this as her place, so I guess she wouldn't feel the need. I don't have many guests, and since there aren't that many houses around, I don't have that many guests. That shows his loneliness, I guess. The fact that he hasn't bothered to make proper acquaintances, really. Because he has just been going through the motion with his life. I don't have many guests, and since there aren't that many houses around, I don't have many neighbors.
誰だろう、一体。
Who could it be? Well, it's not anyone hostile, since my father's boundary field isn't ringing. So I bet it's someone from Fujine's place. Fujine's place? If it is, then it's someone we haven't met before, because I don't think we know anyone from Fujine's place other than Fuji.
Hey, どなたですか?
Who is it? I opened the door. Then... Okay, yeah, so it's the obvious answer. It could have been like soccer or something too, but... or if they wanted to get wild. No, I think if it was Shinji, the boundary field would have went off. My mind freezes. Dash, dash, dash. Dash, dash, dash. We stare at each other silently. Who's gonna crack first? Well, I'm just dumbfounded, but Tosaka looks angry. Yeah! She thought you guys were gonna talk and meet up. This was an important time to meet up after what happened yesterday. Because, like, you know, there's some bullshit happening. Caster, Kazuki was there. She might have thought when you didn't show up that Kazuki got to you. Maybe you got marked by Kazuki off screen. She didn't know. That's why it's important. If you're gonna, you know, just meet up with school, if that's your ritual, you shouldn't break away from that. Of course she's gonna be worried. But especially now.
Tosaka, なんで?
Tosaka, why are you here?
定時連絡。エミヤくんがすっぽかしたから。
Oh, look at her blushing. She was probably super worried and now is super happy that he's okay, and so has gone immediately into soon mode because, like, why the fuck are you just okay? What happened? You skipped our regular contact.
定時連絡をすっぽかしたって。そりゃ確かに遠坂と会うのを忘れてたけど、そもそもそんな決まり事はあったっけ?
Land of the Rising Soon, Dark Side of the Soon. I don't know that I know Here Comes the Soon. The other two I know. Here Comes the Soon. I guess I kind of maybe know that one. That one's a little more vague, though. I skipped our regular contact? Well, I did forget to go see you. But did we ever agree on such a thing? To me, it feels like an implied agreement. Dash, of course you'll get angry. Tosaka glares at me silently. She's trying to read you. Maybe she's trying to read, like, okay, if we skipped, There's probably a reason. Is he okay? Should I be sunning or should I be daring? Maybe that's what's going through her mind right now. Is he just being stupid? Or is he actually, injured in some way and I should be thoughtful? This is bad. Yeah, bye. I don't know why she's mad, but I feel like I've done something really bad. What do you mean you don't know she's mad? you just said you skipped your contact. What do you think? If anything, she's mad that you made her worry, because the day after you had your fight with Kazuki and shit, you don't have your meeting. Of course she's gonna think something bad might have happened to you.
すまん。忘れてたのは謝る。協力者として定時連絡は当然の義務だった。
Sorry, I apologize for forgetting about it. It was a natural duty as your ally to contact you on a regular basis.
そうよ。状況は何も変わってないんだから、お互いの確認は当然じゃない。
Ooh, that's a hard deflective for Dare. Yeah, our situation hasn't changed, so it's natural for us to check up on each other. I sigh with relief. It's surprising enough to see Tosaka at my place, so having her get mad at me here is like an out-of-this-world experience. And you like it? Maybe you do, because, of your self-hatred. It's like, it's so great to have her here, but also to have her mad at me. Yes! I have to take care of this troublesome situation as fast as possible.
話は分かった。連絡はすぐにするから、遠坂も帰ってくれていい。ここまで来てもらってわざわざすまなかった。
I understand. I'll contact you, so you can go home now. I'm sorry you came all the way here. Just right away? And you think she'll be okay with that? No, she's staying over. She wants to know what's happening. Was it really that you just forgot? She probably doesn't believe that you just forgot. With how competent you've been so far this playthrough, there has to be a reason. She's going to want to know the reason. And if it is that you're just stupid, her soon is going to build more and more. I understand. I'll contact you, so you can go home now. I'm sorry you came all the way here. Oh, wow, the flux of emotions. First she's angry, then she's like, is he really that stupid? And then she's like, Hey, why make a face like that?
遠坂。要件は分かったから、ひとまず帰って橋の下の公園で落ち合うんじゃないのか。
Wait, what? There's a message? Tosaka, I got your message, so aren't we going to meet up at the park under the bridge? I'm sorry, what? Park under the bridge? Since when? Did I miss something? Did I forget something? I get a bad feeling, so I asked timidly. Were you gonna meet at the park under the... Oh. That must have been the last straw. Was this a thing they talked about already? Maybe I forgot over the weekend. I don't remember this. I know they agreed to, ambush Kazuki before, but any agreement past that, I don't remember. They already did the Kazuki ambushing, so... Agree at the park under the bridge to what? Investigate the temple? As Tosaka is good at reading what I fear the most. Oh?
いいえ、いい機会だから今日はここで会議するわ。
No, this is a good opportunity, so we'll hold the meeting here today. Okay. Okay. Cool. I mean, he's feeling fucked up. This is going to be her chance to maybe read if how fucked up he is. Makes sense. This also gives her a chance to scope out his place again. She's been here before, after the Berserker fight, the initial one, but it's been a while for her. Is Archer around? Or does Rin feel like that might be sketchy, given, she still probably feels guilty about how Archer attacked Shiro. I still think Archer should be around, to be honest. It's safer, but...
まさか、わざわざここまで来た友人を追い返すなんてしないわよね。
Duh.
エミヤ君。
Don't friendzone yourself, Rin. Don't friendzone yourself. You wouldn't turn away a friend who came to see you, would you? The idea of the friend zone is an interesting concept, though, because really, a lot of the time, you hit the friend zone before you hit the, giggity zone. Maybe when you're younger, you go for the giggity zone first when you're in your hormonal teenage years. But when you get older, you generally, befriend someone, you get to know them, before going for the, oh, hey, I really like you, let's fuck. You wouldn't turn away a friend who came to see you, would you? She smiles like a devil and says a devilish thing.
こ ここで会議するってうちに上がるっていうのかお前。
What? She hasn't gotten to eat your cooking in a while either. I mean, she did give you some of her food earlier, so it's only fair to, reciprocate. But have a meeting here? Are you gonna come into my house?
何よ、あなただって私の家に上がったでしょ。それに今回が初めてってわけじゃないし、
Oh, that's right.
今更隠すことなんてないんじゃない？
That's right. He has already been to her house. So what's the holdup? Why aren't they staying at each other's house already? It's just hormones. I mean, there's no practical excuse anymore. If Shiro's already seen Rin's house, there's not even really a reason for them to not just fully stay over at this point. But, other than hormones, of course. You came into my house as well, and it's not like this will be my first time, so there's nothing you have to hide from me. There's a bit of a reason for Rin to not stay over at this place, because there's a worry that Saber will attack Rin, theoretically. But there's no reason Shiro can't stay over at Rin's place, because Rin's already given a command spell to Archer so that Archer will not attack me. So, practically speaking, it should be fine to have Shiro stay over at Rin's place. But of course, hormones would make Rin get all cootie about that. It's not like this will be my first time, and of course Shiro get cootie about it too, but it's not like this will be my first time, so there's nothing you have to hide from me. Oh. That's right. It was Tosaka that treated my wound on that night I first met Saber. Maybe she can potentially treat this too. Maybe she realized something's possibly up with you. Maybe she can already read it, and that's why she's using this as a convenient in to get in without actually having to ask about how you're feeling. Because that'll let on that she's worried about you, and she wants to keep the upper hand in the situation, as it were. But then I was just confused about this master thing, and the fact that Tosaka was at my house didn't register. Even if we're cooperating, Tosaka's Tosaka. She's a school idol and a girl of my age. It's an outrageous situation for her to come to my house. Wait, why is she coming in? Too late.
じゃあお邪魔します。話し合いなんだから今でいいわよね、エミヤ君。
Well, I'm coming in. We're gonna be talking, so we can do it in the living room, right? Emiya-kun? Oh, you're calling him Emiya again. You've dipped into the Shiro a couple times, but you're still hesitant to go into the full Shiro realm. Alright. We can do it in the living room, right?
待てってばバカ。いいのかお前。遠坂なのに俺ん家に上がったりしたら大変だぞ。
Because Shiro's feeling the hormones. Before, he didn't have such a hard-on for Rin. Now he does. But he's like, ah! Hold on, you idiot. It'll be terrible if you come into my house.
いいからいいから。ああ、それとお昼食べてないからよろしくね。
That's great. It's fine, it's fine. Oh, and I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I'll be counting on you. The intruder Tosaka Rin comes into my house. It is decided. It cannot be stopped. And you must cook an additional meal too. If not, then you must come straight out and say you're too fucked up to do it. I mean, this is your apology, right? For not coming to school and to worrying you, you have to make food for her, or admit that there's a reason. More cooking for Shiro, oh no. The intruder Tosaka Rin comes into the house.
待てってば。この考えなしもほどほどにしろ。
Hold on, stop doing things without thinking. Oh, she's thinking. She has reasons for it, for sure. I object in a loud voice, but it has no effect on my enemy. The intruder carelessly goes in the living room, leaving me confused out in the hallway. So, after the three of us have lunch, we talk about our future plans. Okay, actually. Is Shiro still numb? You should get that looked at. Okay, so, we're gonna have shenanigans, but this feels like a nice beat. Oh, we did drop more frames. We didn't stay 666 the whole time. Oh no. Anyways, this feels like a nice beat. Normally I would go longer. In fact, for specific reasons, I was actually planning to go even a little longer than I was normally going to go. We're going to be extending our shorter streams, in theory. However, for today specifically. I have stuff to do. I had to start a little late, and I have stuff to do. So we'll be stopping here. There was some shenanigans. There's some interesting stuff going on with the Mato side of things. Shiro feels weird, and that needs to be dealt with. Yeah, tomorrow we'll do more, and we'll find out about hormones. Until then, Shiro needs to get himself looked after, because, you know, that's bad. Still don't have an outro phrase. Bye-bye.